What's up, guys? So in today's video, we're just going to be going over all the things I need to do on all my vehicles. Just kind of give you guys a status update on each of them. That way, if you guys are kind of interested in each of the Jeeps, you guys get your own kind of dedicated video here. My 87 Comanche. So first thing I have to do is figure out why it's overheating. Not really sure. It has the original radiator. I already replaced the water pump in it, so the water pump should be good. And then maybe a thermostat. Got to do a little bit of digging on that, fix that. So I got a full cluster from Weymouth here. I fixed it all, so it had a bunch of broken wires on all of the gauges, like the temp gauge and the oil pressure gauge and the fuel gauge were all broke. And I soldered the wires back on, and I tested it in my XJ, and they work. So I'm going to put a full cluster in the MJ, because right now it just has the idiot-like cluster. And then to do that, I have a new temperature sending unit and then a new oil pressure sending unit, so that'll work with the full cluster, and then it's just pretty much plug and play. So another thing I had to fix is the headliner. So I got the headliner pulled out of the truck. All right, so I took the headliner out of the truck. It was starting to sag really bad, and I'm not a huge fan of the brown stained color. So I got most of the interior pieces out. These old trucks are great. It's super easy to take this out. So I got that out. I'm gonna try to repair up some of the cardboard here. Gonna try to repair up some of the cardboard here. It's kind of flimsy and broken here. So try to reinforce this as much as I can. This is just at the back here. See, it's all been messed with, so there you go. So I'll try to repair that up. The rest of it looks pretty good. Just the top side. So there we go. Let this dry out too. When I had my rear window installed, it wasn't completely sealed, so I had to pull this all off because that got soaking wet, and the headliner was sagging anyway, so it's time for a new headliner. So pulled that off, resealed the rear glass back there, and then I'm gonna reupholster the headliner, put that back in, and then put in the sun visors. So the truck, when I got it, didn't have the sun visors in, so now it'll have sun visors. So there's the cluster. It's in the truck now. Just the idiot-like cluster, big fuel gauge, and then just lights for the dash. What's interesting too is none of the lights were on when the truck was overheating, so I don't know if the gauge doesn't work in this one, which is very possible, but yeah, so we'll have to get that taken care of. So I got to figure out why this thing's overheating. I was hearing gurgling like in this hose here, when it was running, and I think maybe some coolant came out of the cap and then leaked down, hit the fan, and then was getting all over the airbox. So it literally just, as soon as I pulled it into my driveway is when I smelled the coolant and then a little bit of smoke, because I think I had touched the exhaust or something. And so it was smoke a little bit. So I don't think I got it too overheated, which is good, but we'll take care of that. But you can see, literally looks like, I think that's original radiator. I don't see too many aftermarket radiators looking like that. I could be wrong. But yeah, so either we'll do a radiator. I'll probably start with the thermostat, replace that, see how it goes. And then now that I have that full cluster, I'll be able to actually see where the temperature is at versus just the light on the other one. So another cool project I'd like to do in the Comanche, if I keep it with the 4-cylinder, I don't know if this is even possible with the way the intake and exhaust kind of share that same side of the engine, but I think an unequal length header would sound pretty cool on this little truck. It's super slow, so I'm not gonna make it any faster, so it might as well sound a little bit cooler. So I'll see how that goes. I don't know if I can find a place that can just fab me one up, or maybe buy a header and have to modify it, but I think that would be kind of cool in this little truck, just to have that little Subaru rumble. I've always loved the way those things sound, so I think that sound in this truck would be kind of cool. A little sporty truck, I think that'd be kind of neat, but that's kind of on the back burner, but someday that would be very cool. All right, so onto the XJ now. So things that I need to fix. Still need to fix the rust on the bottom of the door here. finish the Bondo work. So I just bonded it just for over winter so it wouldn't rust anymore, just to cover up. So I didn't even sand it. So I just threw some Bondo on just to make it last. This side looks this side looks worse, but so I'll finally sand that, and then I did order some paint. So I got some from this place, Automotive Touch Up. So I got some sandable primer as well as some super safe to inhale clear coat and the base coat color that'll match this. So do a little bit of touch up like on the fender flares here, just a little bit of paint missing here. But so fix all the paint issues on the truck, make it really nice. I need to refinish the wheels, repaint them. That'll be easy. I'll just pull them off, tape them off, and spray them with some silver. But they're starting to get a little rusty. When I got them, they were kind of rusty. But I want to make that good. Front end's pretty good, pretty much done. Have to paint the trim around the windshield black. I had to do that on the Comanche too. I forgot to mention that, but do that in the Comanche as well as the XJ. Same thing with my roof rack. Paint that black, take all the chrome off. Get rid of the chrome, dip the emblem black or paint it. Just basically get rid of all the chrome. Same with the rear bumper as well. I do have a set of spark plugs I want to throw in it. It runs fine. I just think a new set of spark plugs would be good. So obviously these are all going to be videos in the future. So if you guys are interested in those, definitely subscribe so you guys can stay up to date on them. And then got a nice gouge that I got to fix. Got to paint that, or Bondo it, fill it, and paint it. And also got to figure out why. So I replaced the axle seals in the front, did rotors, pads, front axle U-joints, both sides, and then did new wheel bearings as well. And the Cherokee pulls just slightly to the right. When I let go of the wheel, just slightly, just kind of slowly steers to the right. So I don't know if I messed up the ball joints when I was hammering the wheel bearings out, or just, bumped something out of alignment. So probably gonna either just check to see, have it aligned, and then obviously I'm gonna probably check my ball joints, make sure they're nice and tight. But yeah, so I gotta figure that out before driving her anymore. So another thing I gotta figure out under here is the fan. So this fan was making a lot of screeching noise, and the guy before me had it wired so it was always on when the ignition was on, so it was running at 100%, and that fan goes right here. It's like the secondary radiator fan. So what I want to do, I want to upgrade to the newer style radiator fan. This radiator, I don't know if it's the proper radiator that's supposed to be in this truck. I think it might be for a newer XJ, but anyway, so what I'm probably gonna do, have this wired in and then probably just wire it up to a switch, because I don't think this has the proper sensor in it. So either a new radiator with the proper sensor, or just run this off of a switch inside. And this thing in the summertime, it doesn't overheat even without my auxiliary fan. So not super concerned about it, but it would be nice to have that extra fan when the AC does kick on. It would be nice, like when I'm sitting in traffic. I usually just turn the AC off when I'm sitting, just to be safe. And so yeah, so that would be nice to get a newer style fan and then just have it wired up and then just to a switch in the Cherokee, and then that way I can turn it on and off when I want instead of it always being on. Okay, so now on to the TJ. Haven't done anything really on the TJ in a while. So I got a set of Focal speakers for it. So I got some, what was these, 6.5s? 6.5s for the rear sound bar, and then 5 1/4s for the fronts. I got that with the speaker pod. So I'll be doing an install video with the front, and then the rears I gotta make an adapter to fit my this bigger style speaker inside of the factory location. So I gotta make an adapter for that, and then install those, and then I'll kind of have a little bit nicer speaker setup in there. And then probably the part I'm looking forward to most. So if you guys haven't noticed, the Jeep does have some Jurassic Park Easter eggs on it, and kind of wanted to add one more. to it. These are kind of the similar style to the ones from Jurassic Park that were mounted up on the rear tail lights. So the idea is to mount them up there and kind of utilize them as like a backup light. So if you guys know, when you have tinted windows on a TJ, it's a little bit hard to see when you're backing up. These lights aren't very bright. So I'm gonna wire a switch up to these. Well, if you guys have seen my video, I put in a bunch of different switches in the TJ like stock area. I added like a whole nother set and kind of modified it. So gonna add that, and then I'm gonna have these guys kind of flanking on each side of the jerry cans. So kind of give it that that classic Jurassic Park Jeep look without having a Jurassic Park Jeep yet. So that's kind of the look I'm going for. My jerry cans kind of block it, but I don't know. I kind of like it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to run the actual, like, what would you call this, the hood or the grill on here. I might pull it off. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. Kind of thinking it's kind of growing on me. The Jurassic Park ones did not have these on there. They were just the orange lens. So, and then one more thing, as you can notice, this jerry can's relatively straight. This one kind of has a slight cant to it. So I kind of forgot about it, but at the back here, there is 2 bolts, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a washer on the bottom one so it spaces it up and out, and then that will cant it back a little bit better. So, and then as you can see here, I think someone hit me in a parking lot or brushed up against it because paint's gone. So I'll probably repaint these, and I would kind of wanted to put something in the basket. The only downside to it is if I put like a cool like Pelican style case up there, I won't be able to see out of my rearview mirror. So I don't know. We'll see what I end up doing. And then plans for the Cobra. If you guys haven't seen the previous video where I cleaned it, I kind of talked about the mods I want to do for it. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely go watch that video. Just a couple of things I want to do for the car. But yeah, I think I got my hands full for this summer. I'm hoping I can get everything done. And then on top of all that, we're definitely gonna be doing work on my dad's Jeep. So whether it's gonna be new wheels and tires, fenders, not exactly sure what route we're gonna go down, but we're definitely gonna be working on his Jeep too. So we got a lot of projects to do. These 2 are kind of the main ones I need to get done right away. I wanna be able to obviously drive them. So Comanche needs the cooling fixed on it, and then the Cherokee, I want to figure out why it's pulling to the right. Those are kind of like the main ones. Everything else is kind of a fun little, with the Wrangler, it's just kind of a fun little project that I kind of want to do. Eventually, I would like to put a nice stereo in the Cherokee and the Comanche. Right now, they both have no speakers and or don't have working radios. So want to get those working, and then, get the Wrangler up to speed on the stereo. And then other than that, that's pretty much going to do it. So anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give the video a thumbs up. That helps me out a bunch, guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.